As of 1st of January 2026, crypto platforms in 48 countries around the world are now required to share information, tax and personal data about their users with tax authorities in their relevant countries. This is part of a new mechanism called the Crypto Asset Reporting Framework. In this video, we're going to tell you what is this new reporting framework, which countries have signed up to it, and what information is being tracked. So what is the CARF? The Crypto Asset Reporting Framework is an automatic exchange of information mechanism that has been developed by the OECD, which of course has been headed up by Australia's own Matthias Cormann. You can think of it as a little bit like the CRS, the Common Reporting Standard for banks. This is a kind of similar automatic exchange of information system, but with crypto accounts. It's all about anti-money laundering, anti-terrorist financing, and trying to lower tax evasion around the world. CRS had a pretty good rap on things, but then when crypto became to be another way that people can move their money around, governments didn't necessarily know exactly where this money was going and who it was relating to. They could request this information from platforms and from users, but there wasn't any automatic sharing of information system that allowed it to happen on an automatic basis. So that's what this new framework is all about. As it stands at the moment, 76 countries have committed to signing up to the framework. In 2026, 1st of January, just a few days ago, 48 countries have signed up. And what this means, they are collecting information now, but the sharing and the exchange of information between different jurisdictions isn't going to happen until next year, 2027. Next year, in 2027, 27 countries have committed to signing up next year in 2027 to start having information collected about them, about their user base, and that information will be shared in the following year in 2028. And in the following year, you have one more country who is committed to signing up, which is the United States. This was developed by the OECD and the G20 group of countries. They do have a list of countries that they particularly want to target and to sign up, and as you can see, most countries have signed up. But notably, there are 5 countries who are holdouts at this point in time, which is quite interesting. If you're looking for the full list, we're going to have it up over on our website, offshoreinasia.com. So head over there if you want to learn more about this reporting framework and how you might be affected. So what exactly is going to be tracked here? Well, like I said earlier, you can think of it similar to the CRS reporting system that applies to a lot of bank accounts in a lot of parts of the world, most parts of the world. This is a bit of a similar thing. So whenever you make a trade, well, for starters, they're going to know what account the name is under, whether it's you, an individual, or a corporate entity. They're going to know who is operating the account. They're going to have information about where you are registered or where your personal tax residence is. What is your tax ID number? And then depending on where your tax residency is, that's how the information gets shared. They're going to know how much money you have in your crypto account, what trades have been made, so that when you come to do your capital gains tax return or your trading tax return in the following year, they'll be able to cross-reference that with the data that has come through this system. So how does it affect tax? Well, this is the thing. This is a new reporting system, yes, but the taxable status of your crypto trading hasn't changed. If you are a resident in a country that taxes crypto, then nothing has changed from last year to next year because of this framework. If you had crypto that was taxable last year, before the framework existed, it's still going to be taxable this year now that the framework exists. The only difference is the tax authority that you are a resident in, the country where you are a resident, and the tax authority that you pay your taxes to, will have, I guess you could call it, surveillance over what is happening on your crypto trading. They're going to know whether you are declaring the correct amounts in your tax return. And if you're not, well, you can probably expect to get a letter from them. So it's fair to say, in this day and age, crypto is not a tool for hiding. You can't really hide your money these days. It's very difficult because there's so much surveillance and so much oversight, and everything is very much systemized. If you want to lower your tax and you try to do it by hiding your crypto trades, you're just going to get yourself in hot water. The good news is you can legally lower your tax. Yes, governments will have oversight over what you're doing, but what you need to do is move to a low tax country or a country that does not or has beneficial tax treatment of crypto, of which there are several, and structure your affairs around that, whether it means trading in your personal name or trading in an entity's name. If it's short-term trading or long-term capital gains, work it out around your tax residence in a way that is going to be tax minimized. There's nothing illegal about this. You are playing by the rules in the country where you are a tax resident. That is the way to do it. Don't go trying to hide your money because you probably are going to get caught and penalized for it. there still are plenty of countries around the world who are crypto tax friendly. So just do it the right way. If you want to learn more about this, head over to our website, offshoreinasia.com. If you want to book in a consult call with us, you can do that as well. We help people to set up in a legally tax efficient way so that they can keep more of what they earn. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.